Hello and welcome to the Paul Green Comedy PaulCast for July 1st, 2024. This is episode 215. Stand-up comedian, actor, and improviser Paul Green, sharing my dreams, my journey. Feeling kind of mellow right now. Does this sound a little different? I feel like I've slipped into PBS News Radio. Hello and welcome to PBS and in today's news. So, let's catch you up on yesterday, and didn't have a lot happen in terms of direct pursuit of my comedy goals and dreams, at least in terms of improving upon my set. I didn't get a lot of writing in. It was kind of a weird day. I had to take my car in to the Ford dealership service center because my car had a recall about 2 years ago, and they're just now getting around to having a solution for it. And for some reason, mechanics at the car dealerships aren't able to, because they set an appointment with me, but the appointment is just to drop the car off, and then I just have to leave it with them overnight, which just makes no sense to me. Especially if they already know what they need to do. Like, why don't you just wait until you can fix it right away and then have me drop it off when you can just go fix it real quick, and then I can just get it. But, the world doesn't always work the way that we think it should, everybody. That's a good life lesson. So I dropped this car off. I had a buddy of mine who we were planning on doing lunch anyway, so I just had him pick me up and went and had lunch with a good friend of mine, buddy of mine. We've been friends for, probably 20 years now. And he's just one of those dudes. We don't really check in on a regular basis, but we'll touch base every couple of years, go grab lunch, catch up, chew the fat, just have a great conversation. He's such a cool guy, been a good friend over the years, very down to earth. Had a good time. Following a lunch, I had a meeting with the advertiser who I've been working with to advertise the Midlife Crisis comedy show. Our advertiser, and if you listened to yesterday's episode, I was a little unhappy with an ad that had been released that he was. I don't think he edited it directly, but he has a video editor that he works with who had cut this video together and had chosen to put a clip or two of me and my buddy Josh. And we just were not very thrilled with some of the selections that were made for that ad, to say the least. So I actually emailed him a very specific set of instructions on what needs to be done to make the video better, what clips and parts need to be removed, and then some suggestions of clips to add in. But I wanted to talk to him and just say, hey, what sort of thought process is going on here in terms of what you are seeing is our brand and is the type of clips and videos that you feel should be marketed on the internet versus what we're seeing? Because there was some stuff in that ad where I'm going, I don't think this is the best way to represent us. And there were two clips in particular. One clip, we didn't even intend for it to be a usable promo clip. It was me and Josh, and we were just sitting on a couch, and we rambled up maybe about 6 or 7 different little promo shorts. And then at the end of the joke, we just said, Yeah, buy tickets now. We'll kill your families. Ha 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 ha. And we were obviously just saying that really as an inside joke. Yeah, that clip ended up in our Facebook ads. And both me and Josh were a little taken back by that, because we do not think that that would actually be taken comedically out in the real world. So that clip was a definite no-no. However, there was another clip that at first I was not a fan of, and we were interviewing a woman at one of our shows, which is what we do, and we were having a fun conversation with her, and she mentioned that she was Hispanic, and I made some sort of stereotypical comment about like Hispanic culture and how they get married young and have a lot of kids or something like that. Now, in the live show, it was fine because the audience was with us, but his editor or my advertiser included that clip as well. And now that clip, at first I was like, I don't know if that's a good clip for online. And then after talking to our advertiser about it, he had mentioned that his video editor actually is Hispanic and thought that that was absolutely hilarious. And it was a funny thing because I do have a concern about, you know, the old cancel culture or saying the wrong thing or people getting offended. And, you know, it's never my intention to offend anybody. I also realize there's a flip side of that, which is, you know, people need to be responsible for their own emotions, and people are going to take offense at what they're going to take offense at. Now, that being said, I still try to have a bit of a sensitivity to what I'm saying, what I'm joking about, what I'm putting out there, and to just be cautious that I'm putting myself out there with jokes that reflect what I truly feel and don't come across, especially when I'm being satiristic, you know, and satire can get you in so much trouble because there's so much nuance to it. And as we all know, online isn't great at nuance. So on the one hand, it's, well, let's maybe not put that clip out there. It might, you know, not, it you know, might be a little tone deaf. And the other half, it's, well, it was actually a really funny joke. Everybody at the audience was laughing. The woman on stage who we were talking to was laughing. And maybe it's okay if people get offended if they choose to. So I don't know. I'm not decided on the right way to go with that. And I did leave that decision up to my advertiser. Actually, I think what we decided is I said, well, let's run both ads. Let's run the ad with that joke, and let's run an ad without that joke, and let's actually see which one performs better. So instead of making an intuitive decision, which intuition actually isn't really a thing, let's put out our best guess and then gather data and let the actual numbers and the data determine the best direction to go. And I'll tell you, as the more that I pursue this dream thing, it's really fascinating because we do talk. I say we. I know that I have heard throughout my entire life, you know, follow your gut, follow what's in your heart, which is kind of a very interesting thing to say. I know it's poetic to say follow what's in your heart because there's actually nothing happening in your heart except blood pumping. It's actually what you are thinking and what you are feeling, and all of that is generated in the brain, and, you know, the brain sends you know, happy juices to the bloodstream, and, you know, all of that, and fires certain neurological pathways that elicit emotions. And but this whole intuition thing, I remember, oh man, I don't have a concrete source for this. So I'm kind of getting a little bit out of my expertise of something that I've studied myself. But as I recall, the conversation is with my older brother, who's a big time like business guru, leadership trainer, corporate leadership. And he's just always so fascinating because he's just always learning these ideals and principles about the human condition and how human beings work and how they relate to each other and how they work and how they are efficient and how to humanize all of the elements of work and stuff. Anyway, and he had mentioned, I think it was him that we're having this conversation, that intuition actually a lot of times is wrong, because intuition, like that sort of gut feeling, is really just a thought that isn't based on data. And a data-based approach based on actual factual numbers is usually going to be the way to go. Or in other words, facts override feelings. And I don't know, I haven't really processed that, and I will probably want to study that more, because I feel like I've been served by intuition. But then again, I've probably also been disserved by my own intuition when I thought it was intuition, and then I just had a big swing and a miss, and I wasn't anywhere close to the right answer or to the truth or to what was really going down. So I'm always going to try to look at both sides of moving through to a dream and to a goal and, whatever your journey is, because there does seem to be an element of outer worldly, you could call it spirituality, you could call it God, you could call it guidance, you can call it the universe. All of those terms and deities that we assign to that element of life that is the unknown, trying to predict what will become known. And making the best decision in any given moment is sometimes incredibly difficult. And to actually do the amount of research necessary, it gets to a point where it's like, man, you just got to make a decision. There's just not enough time. You could spend your entire life trying to find the right answer, and you would spend your whole life trying to find the whole right answer at the expense of making a decision. And so it's almost like human beings, we're almost designed to move forward in faith without all the information, because a lot of times we just don't know. But you got to make a decision. You got to move forward. And so I think that's where this idea of like a gut reaction's going. It's like, well, I don't actually know what path is right or the best. I don't actually know which one is going to yield XYZ result or ABC result. And I'm going to do as much research as I can, but at the end of the day, I'm going with the door number 1. And off you go. So I am fully aware that there is an intuitive nature to human beings. I don't understand that. I don't get it. And maybe I should try to get it a little more. But the flip side of that is there is such a thing as research and quantifiable data. What video do I think is best? I don't know. Why don't we try both videos and find out which video performs the best? And then maybe try 3 or 4 more. And just, keep trying until we find a formula that seems to yield fairly consistent results. And so that is the name of the game. So those have been the thoughts on my mind today as I continue to pursue this comedy dream of mine. So this week will be an interesting week. We got the 4th of July coming up. And this weekend, I will be headlining 2 clean comedy shows in Arizona, Saturday night and Sunday night. And I am absolutely thrilled. I cannot wait to do these shows. I'm so excited to put my new material in front of a different audience. I will have a lot of time. I think I'm going to have 25 minutes, and so I'll really be able to stretch, and I will more or less do the comedy set that I did last Thursday at my birthday comedy show, which just went extremely well. And really excited. It's going to be filmed, going to get some quality footage. And I think once I get that footage back, I'm going to start submitting to some more festivals, because I submitted to a handful last year, and I did not get into any festivals. As a matter of fact, I just got an email today that I didn't get into a festival that I got into about last year. And I submitted again, and they didn't have me back. So I don't know what that's all about. But evidently, they didn't like me. But I have a whole new routine now, and I think this routine I am so much more excited about, and I think it's just much better. And so I'm going to start clipping that together, get that footage, and start getting back out there and see if I can maybe have some better success getting into some comedy festivals. All good things, everybody, all moving forward. I'm just grinding away at that dream every day, keeping at it, thinking about it, working towards it, taking steps on the marketing side, taking steps on the artistic side. You always got to have both. You got to have the business side, and you got to have the artistic side. And I'm trying to pursue both of those as best as I can. And I hope all of you are doing the same and having good experiences and finding joy, finding fulfillment, having good experiences, having opportunities open up to you as you pursue whatever it is that is in your heart. So go out there and get them, everybody. So that is all for me for this is for June 1st, 2024, episode 215, the Paul Green Comedy PaulCast. I love you all so much, and I will check in with you tomorrow.